Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to a TLC Sister Wives special. Well, it's not a special, it's a video about me talking about the sister wives from TLC and their connection to sketchy and scammy businesses like multi-level marketing companies. The TLC show Sister Wives, or as it is called in Germany, Alle meine Frauen, about Cody Brown and his four wives, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robin, is a worldwide reality show hit that started in 2010, making the five reality TV stars. The polygamous family still gets high rating in their 18th season of the show, or rather the former polygamous family, because a lot has happened since the first season of the show. They were outside of the norm, yes, but it was presented as a fun story about one man married to four women, having 18 children total towards the end of the show. In the beginning they had a little less, but one of his wives was pregnant and then more babies came along on the show. But unfortunately, as is typical for most TLC shows that seem to be fun and lighthearted, light entertainment, at the surface there is a darker history and a darker truth behind those shows. In this case, for example, a polygamist being married to four women, financial problems, child neglect, jealousy, and patriarchy in fundamentalist Mormonism. The Sister Wives family practiced a form of polygamy known as plural marriage, and the Browns are a part of the fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This video will not focus on the show itself, although it will be mentioned for context, but rather on the connection of some of the family members to MLMs, to multi-level marketing companies, and how having a mainstream show can benefit. I would argue that the stars of the show were always the women. They were the powerhouses, many times the providers for the family, the nurturing ones, the ones looking after the children, specifically Meri, Janelle, and Christine. And Cody was there as the husband, and he of course was also a necessity, but he was not very much liked. Maybe in the beginning, where he was presented as a loving father, but then he easily became the most disliked member of the entire family. And in addition, his fourth wife, Robin, she was accused of being the reason that the family broke apart. Only Meri was the only one who was legally married to him, but in alliance with their spiritual belief, it was acceptable and also even praised in the Mormon religion to marry multiple women. Meri was the only one who was legally married to Cody, but the other three wives were spiritually connected and were spiritually married to him. Meri, who is no longer married to Cody, offered to divorce him so that he could get legally married to Robin, because he wanted to adopt her children from a first marriage, and also that Robin and her children had health and financial benefits the other family members do not have. But as I said, at the moment only one person is married to Cody. His only wife at the moment is Robin, because the sister wives started to leave Cody. Christine Brown was the first one to leave him, then Janelle. Meri stayed around for, I believe, a little bit longer. She tried to save her marriage, but many believe she was kept rather close to Cody and Robin specifically so that the two could extract money from her, because Meri always seemed to be the one who was financially the most independent and also the one who was the most stable out of all of the family members. Also, after a catfishing incident that was also partially shown but weirdly edited, I think there was a lot of information, maybe for legal reasons they had to cut out, but even after a catfishing incident where Meri was looking for another partner online, she believed it was a man, the entire story pretty much blew up in her face, and even after that, Cody declared that he no longer lived with Meri as husband and wife, and that he didn't consider her his wife, and that it was okay for her to move on from this relationship. But Meri stayed despite this incident, and also despite the feedback she got from Cody, strongly encouraged, very likely by Robin, who wanted her to continue to stay in the family, who wanted her to continue to be connected to Cody, very likely because she wanted to financially benefit from Meri. The family was notoriously in financial need, with 18 children, and most of them didn't have health insurance. In fact, only Meri and her child had health insurance, or the ability for the kids to go to an extended school or to college. Sometimes the family had really, really lavish houses, 4 houses. In the beginning, they had 1 home for 3 families. Robin had her own. They moved to Las Vegas, where everybody had big new built houses. They had a lot of regular moves. And then in addition to that, the families, specifically Cody and also Robin, they made consistently bad financial choices. For context, Meri has 1 child with Cody, Leon Brown, who came out as transgender in June 2022. And it is rather uncommon in Mormon communities for couples to only have 1 child. Meri sadly lost a 2nd baby at some point. They also considered fertility treatment, was also mentioned on the show, but then they didn't continue with their plans. And despite Meri only having 1 child, as opposed to the other 3 wives having a combined 17 children, Meri always lived in a nice house. She lived a nice life. She had bigger houses. She seemed to have more luxe furniture than the others. Janelle, for example, she lived in smaller homes with her 6 children, and Christine, also with an additional 6 children, lived in smaller homes. When Robin entered the family as the 4th wife, she had 3 children from a former plural marriage, and then she continued to have 2 children together with Cody. This lifestyle Meri had was financed by herself. She didn't depend on Cody bringing in a lot of money for her. She seemed to be the one who was able to do that by herself. And although it was not prominently promoted on the show, Meri only spoke on the show about having her online boutique. It wasn't really mentioned in depth what it was, but apparently it made her a lot of money for years. And then Christine and Janelle also started to help out, specifically Christine with Meri's business. But she and Janelle then started to mix an occasional pink drink on the show to better their health and also their lifestyle, to lose weight. And you might have guessed it, yes, unfortunately, these 3 women are distributors in MLMs and multi-level marketing companies. Meri is a distributor in Lularoe, the Ugly Leggings MLM, and Christine and Janelle, they are in Plexus, a health and wellness MLM, where the distributors spread the most insane health claims. Christine also had a foot in Lularoe at some point, but now she seems to be focusing on Plexus together with Janelle. And on their social media, their MLM connection became very, very apparent. Christine, for example, she posted, and she still posts a lot about menopause problems. If you have those, contact her. She can help you. Janelle posts about reset or sugar cravings. If you want to lose weight, contact her to get on your health journey. When you are on Christine and Janelle's Instagram, you are being redirected on those posts to an Instagram page called Healthy Living Co., a page they run together with Christine's daughter, Mikelti, and with Janelle's daughter, Madison, where they pitch weight loss, gut health, energy, and sleep products. And here they pitch products from the health and wellness MLM Plexus. I have a good amount of videos on Plexus. I also created a playlist. I will link it up here if you're interested to take a closer look and why I believe that Plexus is really, really dangerous. Unfortunately, that's exactly the MLM these 2 are in, and they're also making certain health claims, income claims, and other claims that I disagree with. The 4 pitch Plexus products to help with digestive problems, to help with stress as a busy parent, to help with symptoms of menopause, weight issues, low energy, sugar cravings, and. You have the problem, they have the solution, allegedly, or rather Plexus, allegedly, and they are able to sell you the almighty products that can help you, that can help with all of your problems. Or even better, you could go on trips with them and you can benefit from the business opportunity Plexus has to offer. In that case, you just have to join their team and you can go on lavish trips. And you can also get access to these people that you know from mainstream television. Christine and Janelle both promoted a trip to Punta Cana in Mexico. This trip is a Plexus Leaders Retreat that happened in February 2024, and it is safe to assume that Christine and Janelle are really successful in their MLM if they can go to a Leaders Retreat. The 2 are very well liked stars on a mainstream reality show. They are reality stars, D-list celebrities, however you want to call them, with a following of about 1 million followers on Instagram each. The two are among the top distributors in Plexus, allegedly making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. And that is the problem. Besides MLM being predatory itself, I think especially in this case. That's also why I wanted to make this video. With ridiculous health claims in health and wellness MLMs like Plexus, I have huge problems. I have huge issues with that, and I go through that very much in depth. Why these are so worrisome in the Plexus videos in the playlist I spoke about, because they have so many absurd products and they have so many absurd product claims that really stick with some people. They have a lot of weight loss programs, supplements, a reset program, which is essentially the same thing. It's a weight loss program. The distributors make the most insane health claims that the Plexus products have helped with their blood sugar levels. So if you are close to being a diabetic, take the products and we can help you. And did you know that Plexus products can also cure cancer? Yeah, you're not allowed to say this, but the Plexus Huns will do that. It is absolutely disastrous. And then we, in addition to that, also have the disastrous income claims about great income potential to be rich and famous. I have reacted to a good amount of team calls on Plexus specifically and opportunity calls with exactly these claims. Plexus just sells ordinary supplements, overpriced for what they are because they need to finance the multiple levels in the MLM, but there are no medicine, there are no medical programs or treatments, and the distributors cannot make those claims. They still do it, and Plexus is not responsible unless we point them out to authorities. And we make sure, as somebody who does these videos myself on the internet, that people understand that Plexus is not the solution. They're absolutely infuriating and ridiculous. Just a heads up, if you have a bad day, don't watch the playlist, don't watch my Plexus videos, because they are infuriating. I get angry every single time. And then the income claims, they're also just as bad because the income in multi-level marketing companies are bad. According to the FTC, 99.6% of people who join an MLM lose money. And according to Plexus' own income disclosure statement, the ordinary Plexus distributor earned $396 in 2022. That is before expenses. These people purchased a couple of products over the course of the year and they started with a necessary starter kit that year to join Plexus, then these people have already lost money. So it adds up. Plexus is just as shabby as other MLMs are when it comes to the business opportunity, and only a handful of people at the top, among them Janelle and Christine, are able to benefit. Now, the health and income claims from distributors in a multi-level marketing company, they are already bad enough. But in this case, we have an additional problem, and that is the celebrity status that these two people have. Celebrities with a huge social media following, then there is the additional danger of the parasocial connection, a very one-sided relationship where a person develops a strong relationship with a social media or TV personality or a public figure despite a lack of mutuality. The public figure, of course, doesn't know you, but you think you know that person. And if a famous person joins a multi-level marketing company as a distributor, then there's also, of course, the perfect opportunity to potentially have access to a person that you saw on a major TV show like Sisterwives, and now you could join their team and you are under the illusion that you might be able to spend time with a person you liked and their actions you liked and what you saw on social media was something you liked, and now you have the ability to have access to them by joining their team. You could be able to see them at events, at Plexus events, form a friendship with them, go on trips with them, and so on and so on. And it is also being pitched like this on Instagram to join their team. Specifically, Janelle does that a lot. But that, in my opinion, is so deceptive because it is not a way to build an actual friendship and an actual connection, because joining someone's team, aka someone's downline, that is a business move and an exchange of money, at least for the person at the top. And Christine and Janelle, for example, they're pitching this as well to be a part of their team. And I have to assume that these two are very well aware that because of their status on TV, because of their huge following on Instagram, that they're pretty much pitching this to people who really like them, who are interested in them. By joining their team, maybe they are under the impression that they have access to them and they're able to have a closer connection to people they appreciate on television where they normally wouldn't have access to those people. And I think that is wrong. In addition to the ridiculous health claims, to the unsubstantiated income claims, that is another layer to the story. It is wrong to utilize your public platform like this to become a high-ranked distributor in a predatory MLM. And in my opinion, it is the modern-day equivalent to selling really shitty products or accepting really bullshit sponsorships. Lots of huge influencers did years ago, like the Detox and the Skinny Teas. And I do not want anybody who watches this video to demonize the three women, Janelle, Christine, or Meri. I personally liked them a lot on the show. Like I said, they were the stars. They were the likable ones. Just like all of the distributors that are not famous that I speak about on this channel, I don't want anyone to demonize these people. And unfortunately, there's an additional hardship specifically on Janelle, but I would assume also on the entire family, because unfortunately her son Garrison passed away in March and he allegedly took his own life. So I can only assume what the family has to go through at the moment, what Janelle and what Garrison's siblings have to go through at the moment, and my heartfelt condolences goes to the family. The video is not about family members passing away or about the show, but I think it is important to mention that because the family must be currently going through a lot when a family member dies, especially at the age of 25. I myself have watched the show on TLC for years, and even to this very day, it seems that Christine and Janelle, they seem to have an honest, close connection, a real connection. They spend their holidays together and they seem to be actual friends besides their Plexus endeavors. And I find their stories, how they left what I would describe as a really damaging and toxic relationship, very inspirational. I think that they were able to free themselves from a bad, in their case, spiritual marriage, where they shared a husband, where they provided for their children, because Cody could not do that himself for 18 children. And Christine, for example, she was the mother to most of those children during the day. She was the primary parent in a way throughout the day. She homeschooled a lot of the kids. And then at night, she also had a part-time job to provide financially for the family fund. Janelle was always one of the main providers for the family. She worked as an accountant, and at the beginning of the show, Meri provided financially too with a part-time job. Meri lost that part-time job when the show was aired. And despite their religious background, they were able to advocate for themselves to the degree that they were able to leave a toxic marriage. And they said, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. And they left their husband, which is a really, really strong move. And I have to say, I admire that. If you are already in your 40s and you have a lot of children and you financially need to take care of them and you live in a really unhappy relationship, to decide, I'm starting over, I'm leaving you, I'm done with that. That is something I find very inspirational. And that is why I find it so upsetting that these women went the MLM route and pretty much used and abused their public status to lure people into predatory systems like MLMs. These three women, Meri, Christine, and Janelle, they had jobs to provide financially for their families. They took care of everyday chores, and they were involved in childcare. The exception was Robin, who never had a job, who was never able to financially contribute to the family fund, but she always had her own home, and she also always had a nanny for her children, which is a very luxurious situation, without her having work herself, without her being able to provide financially for her family or for the other family members as well. I would argue that Robin is by far the most disliked of the sister wives because she never provided for the family, she never contributed for the family, but she didn't have a problem to take money from the family fund or family pool to finance a rather lavish lifestyle for herself. The other three women who had jobs were paying into this family fund, so did Cody, but Robin never did. And she, to this very day, is being blamed by a lot of fans on the show for the other three relationships ending. She's kind of seen, or she seems to be, as Cody's favorite wife. The entire family and family dynamic and the multiple moves were also possibly catered towards Robin and her needs and her family's needs, like the move to Las Vegas, for example, and then also the later move to Flagstaff, Arizona. Religion and MLMs are very much connected, and MLMs and Mormons, they're also a match made in heaven. It is not uncommon for Mormon women or fundamentalist Christian women to start in an MLM, because for a lot of these women, it is expected for them to primarily take care of their kids and to be a homemaker, and many times that's what they also declare they want to do themselves. There is no place really for the women in this case to leave the house and to have a classical job, but if you join a multi-level marketing company, you can work from home, you can still homeschool your children, you are there, you run your own company, you're your own boss babe, and you're also able to support your husband. That is a lie in my opinion. It's a myth that is being spread because realistically that does not work out for most people who join an MLM. Most people who join MLMs, they will lose money. They do not run their own companies. They're salespeople, untrained and unpaid for the most part, and they pretty much have to work around the clock. Reach out to people, pitch the meager MLM opportunity to make some revenue. But of course, that looks a little bit differently if you have a mainstream show and millions of followers who like you, who adore you, and you would like to have easy access to you. It is so much easier to profit if you have that advantage. I find it sad that the three, I spoke about Christine and Janelle predominantly, that they didn't get a real job, but that they went the scammy MLM route, because although I have a lot of sympathy for these people and I do admire the strength that they showed when they left this relationship and when they advocated for themselves, I would say that most people have to make a living in some way, shape, or form by having an ordinary job or building a legitimate business of their own, and that is despite all of the financial needs this family went through in the past, having to take care of so many children who don't have a real health insurance, who don't have potentially enough food or clothing to live somewhat of a comfortable life must be a huge pressure point. But that, in my opinion, is not an excuse to scam other people. Meri, as opposed to Christine and Janelle, is doing her own thing as a distributor in Lularoe, and she has benefited from her TV and Instagram status for years. Although she did not promote Lularoe specifically on the show, here she spoke about her online clothing boutique. She essentially does the same thing, or she did the same thing as Janelle and Christine, and she used her status as a celebrity and she monetized it in an MLM. If you click on her Instagram, you arrive at her Lularoe website. You didn't and you don't see that much on the actual show, but on social media. And if you click the bio in her Instagram or the link, you arrive at her Lularoe website. Meri lost her part-time job when the show first aired, and she and the other adults on the show, they made hundreds of thousands of dollars per year because they starred on the show. Meri always had very nice and spacious homes just by herself or with her one child when her child lived with her. She did go on rather luxurious vacations. She was able to finance that herself by her joining Lularoe. The Sisterwives audience is, I would argue, predominantly female with regularly high ratings. In the show, it was clear that the family was notoriously struggling financially because they had to take care of the 18 children, a husband who was married to 4 women, but who was not able to afford all of those 4 families. There were also consistently bad financial decisions made specifically by Cody and by Robin, regular moves, big houses that were way out of their budgets, mansions even, and a lack of basic health care for the children of the family. And I believe that that is something that did push Meri, Christine, and Janelle to use their reality star status to join a predatory MLM like Plexus or Lularoe. And while I understand these vulnerabilities, and I understand and have seen those on the show as well, although they were a little bit simmered down for legal reasons, for legal purposes, I believe. I do understand those vulnerabilities, but I still think it is wrong to sell the dream of fans of the show potentially having access to you and to utilize your fame in such a way. A lot of people go through traumatic relationships. They have to feed their families, they have to feed themselves, they have to clothe their families and clothe themselves, and they do so by getting a real job, like most of us do. And those people don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars from a main TV show, which is also a nice side income, I would say. I don't want to lie, I was personally a little bit disappointed. I was not surprised because of the religious background of these women and also that they were able to utilize their status in such a way. Because I also followed the TLC show for a good amount of time, I was a little bit disappointed that these went that route. I don't know about you, if this was unexpected for you as well, or if you have known about their affiliation with MLMs, but I find it wrong. Having this huge public platform and utilizing it in such a way is an obvious advantage over other people. So if these women are able to pitch the business opportunity to others, it is very likely the other people won't be as successful. And that is something I speak about on my channel a lot. Circumstances do matter whether you are successful in an MLM or not. Timing is very, very important. But in this case, if you are a known celebrity or if you have a huge following on social media, it is more likely for you to be successful and to actually profit. And it looks like the three, Meri, Christine, and Janelle, are at the top of their multi-level marketing company, and they're some of the top income earners there because they are celebrities. Reality star, D-list celebrities, however you want to call them, but if millions of people tune in every week because they want to watch your show and you're able to utilize that for your MLM, you will be more successful than the average person who doesn't have that advantage. Getting access to people like this, I said it before, but I say it again, as nice as they might be, in my opinion, it's just a business transaction, and I do hope that people don't get fooled by those pitches. I would love to know what you think about this. I was a little bit disappointed. If you like these types of videos, then please consider subscribing. If you like this specific one, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to let me know something, feel free to do that in the comment section down below. And if you like these types of videos, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!